Guys, we are. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Not right when we're starting the show. No.
What?
Oh,
Ubuntu is doing updates. Okay. Hey guys, this is Nelson Buck, and this is the daily live chat.
I'm
Semi
throw this
daily if you ask certain people. We do this Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific, or if you're in Germany, go based on 9 p.m. Berlin time. But that time zone is so messed up. We got to base ourselves on John Brewer. What he says goes. And I'm trying to get everything up and go. My computer crashed right before we had to do the show.
Oh, that sucks.
Hey, John. Hello, John. How are you, John? We were talking about WWE before we started.
yes, we were.
I was going to ask you, John, do you have the cage matches?
Yeah, they had one. They had one at this last event. As a
Oh,
matter
there is
of
cage
fact.
matches in WWE?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
different
I
than.
thought that was just MMA.
No, but it's different. It's not. It's not. It's nothing like MMA. It's not all brutal. I wouldn't watch it if it was like MMA and stuff.
Quit. Brianna, get back on camera. You got to compensate for Josh. No, okay, never mind. We're good.
What? Okay.
No. Josh appeared. We needed to balance out the screen here.
But your WWE is similar to what it was when it was WWF.
yeah.
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 Which is now the World Wildlife Foundation.
Yeah, it was before, and that's why they had to change to WWE. They lost the court battle
Really?
because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judge won the tournament.
yeah.
Wow.
I used to
What
have
was her name?
I used to have a pet like this, and now it's like this.
Wait, what?
You have to look at the screen. I'm not doing it again. I just called myself dumb.
Watch the video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's on one half.
What's the video?
It's like this.
The what?
I only saw the second
Yeah.
half.
I said usually my pet was like this, and then
Yeah.
after a while it was like this.
Oh.
It died. It was a brain eater. Dude, what are we talking about today, guys? I'm trying to. Freaking right before the show we have updates. Oh my god, system updates.
It was a brain eater and it died, so there was no brain to eat.
Yeah, well, yeah, it died of starvation.
Exactly.
I poured all my neural juices into Mardox. So it had nothing left. Yeah.
Did you get the file I sent you?
No, I didn't.
Check Skype.
I did check Skype. I did nada. I was just going to talk to you about that. Where is it?
I just sent it.
Oh, you sent it in the group.
Oh, oops, I didn't mean to.
And my Skype just crashed. Not kidding you. It just crashed. This show may not live very long. That's why I made a bunch of you co-hosts. So in case if I disappear, just continue doing the show as usual. Okay, guys?
Nelson's working his way up for donation, people.
Yes.
Oh, is that what this is?
He wants to borrow a laptop, John.
Okay.
Well, instead of sending your laptop to James, you're going to send it to me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Because I
So you
need
can drop it on the floor and break it.
I need it.
So you can drop it on the floor and break it.
What? Like the one I have here? Oh,
I've seen how you treat laptops. So I'm glad you sent me the money and I was able to order it directly. Not that you got your hands on it for a few minutes or so.
What do you have against what do you have against white folk touching your laptop?
Yeah, some of those white folks have real butter fingers, you know.
Klutz, right? Yep. I used to watch
What color is your laptop, John?
black. It's the best. Come on, seriously, it's the best color in the world.
Black.
Charcoal, right?
Yeah.
Like
I think it was either.
John, I
don't even know if I want to go there.
John,
They gave me. Yeah.
sunlight bounces off me and absorbs by you.
I see. Okay. See, I only had two color options, Daddy. The black one or the white one.
Racist bastards.
Well, you should have got them both, John. You work in black and white.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got a blue laptop, but the screen, but it doesn't have a screen right now.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good.
If they would have offered the blue one, I would have taken it. Blue's my favorite color.
Hey, I'm back.
Purple one before.
Hey, welcome back. It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
I was having trouble connecting from the car here, so I'm driving.
Oh, okay.
If y'all want to see Wisconsin Rapids, let me know. I'll show you on the
Yeah,
city.
yeah. Hold on. Now, we're not condoning. Let's see. What would that be? Driving and streaming at the same time.
Well, I'm not on video, so I have it sitting in my cup holder and it's on speakerphone, so I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. So I'm
That's
not going to
good.
ask. I don't want to see what Wisconsin Rapids, Wild Rapids looks like, because that would be streaming and driving at the same time.
Yeah, but I would just hold it up with one hand while driving with the other. It's all good.
That's what you're not supposed to do.
It's
Yeah.
actually legal here.
Really?
They haven't banned hands. They haven't banned the hands-free thing here in the state of Wisconsin yet.
Oh, there's not enough people on the road at any one time.
Exactly.
People mostly drive off and hit a ditch or hit a tree. They don't or hit a cow.
Yeah, I'm watching the babies. That was funny as hell. Just saw a baby stroller being pulled by two little chihuahuas.
Really?
That was interesting. Never know what you'll see around this damn place, man. Let me tell you. I would be surprised if people are still out ice fishing in 70-degree weather.
So what you're saying is a baby stroller was being pulled by two cats with a sore throat.
No, I said chihuahuas.
Same thing.
My sister has a dog that pulls her around in a wheelchair, and it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I was joking. It was actually two dogs, but the lady was walking the two dogs. It looks like two dogs in front of the stroller that the lady's walking behind. So
It pulls her around. It is like a Chihuahua dachshund or something.
Yeah. My dog Jack, the big one that we had, we would tie his leash onto the slippery slide material. Sandra would sit on it and he would pull her. Like no problem at all. Yeah, come on, Jack, let's go. And he's like, okay, come on, let's go. Kids being pulled behind him. No problem at all. She was like, what, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old? And just pulled her along. Like there's nothing there.
On my
it's actually really pretty out here in the summertime at least, when it's warm out here.
How warm is it right now?
70s.
70. Okay, so Brianna beats us. Brianna's at what, 88? 89?
83, and it feels like 88.
83 feels like 88. I don't want to convert that. I don't know. That's still the 20s for us, isn't it, Dad? The 80s.
I see 17 right now.
I'm literally like 5 minutes from the river, so it's not so. You can see the river from where I'm. It's only like 5 minutes from where my house is. The river.
Yeah,
So I pass the river almost every day.
So 88F in
88 minus 32. The 83 minus 32. 83
Oh
minus.
yeah, okay. So you're 6 degrees warmer than we were yesterday.
Wow.
Yesterday we were at 24, 25, 26. You're at 31 right now, Celsius.
I know it's getting hot.
No.
It's a bit cool here today.
How cool is it, John?
It's about 18 right now.
About 18. Yeah, so you're about the same as us right now.
Mm,
Are you in Celsius, John?
Well, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's only.
Yeah.
I no longer understand Fahrenheit.
There's only one country that's in Fahrenheit, and that's us.
No.
Everybody else in the world is Celsius, pretty much.
No, there's a country that's an island. It's also Fahrenheit. I'll have to go look it
Really?
up. Yeah, but they go based on Fahrenheit too.
Really?
Yeah, that country's called Hawaii.
No. It's a real country. I'll have to go look it up. But it's America and that country. The country's an island country, and they're based in Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Let me guess. The American Samoas or the U.S. Virgin Islands, maybe?
Are you asking that? Are you asking me to go look it up, Josh?
Sure, why not? I'm not near a computer, so.
Oh yes, you are actually. You're sitting right in the cup holder right there. What countries?
Oh, I think I lost everybody.
No, you're still there. You're still, okay, the Bahamas, oh, Peru, United States. No, sorry. Palau, P-A-L-A-U.
Palau.
Palau. The Cayman Islands, Belize, and the Bahamas all use Fahrenheit.
Really?
Ah.
The Bahamas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Surprised.
Interesting. Now, who uses inches and feet still besides America?
Well, okay, that's imperial
Might
system,
have to
right?
be the same countries.
Damn.
What countries that use the imperial system is images. 3 countries which are not using the metric system are Liberia, Myanmar, and of course,
Yeah.
the United States of America.
Of course.
Yeah, and it would be Miramar would be the one using Fahrenheit, the island.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's an island.
And just about every construction worker.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because
It's true.
yeah,
You go to the hardware store, we're in metric, but I want half-inch plywood.
yeah,
Really?
Yes.
all the work I'm doing here, this is all in inches and feet.
Yeah.
Really? Why is
Yeah.
that?
I don't know. When I go to measure 8 feet or 7 feet, 11 inches and a quarter, I find it a lot easier than trying to figure out how many millimeters is a quarter.
It's more accurate, but yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, I'm gonna mute you, Josh, for a few
Yeah,
here.
because I have a hard time hearing.
Yeah, because there's a lot of background noise, just so others can speak here. Okay.
Sure.
There we go. Okay, so
Sounds like he jumped in the river or
no,
something.
he's driving. He's in his car.
You know, it sounds like
Yeah, but-
water.
He's
He
in
said
his
he was close to the river, you see.
Yeah.
but he's in his car. You don't understand. A car is in the river.
Ah.
Hey, if he
I like my version better.
If
He's
he-
taking a bath.
I think so too. Yeah, it's like nah. I'm not gonna.
Holding your cell phone.
I'm not gonna sing today because earlier today I had the little dog in my arms. I went, I don't love you anymore, and the dog went.
That's cute. That's cute.
It's Be Kind to Pets Week.
Yeah.
I was like, thanks a lot, dog. Thanks a lot. I'll remember you at Christmas.
Well, that I know of, dogs and cats don't lie.
I happen to know that an inch is 2.54.
No, I know the conversion. I know the conversion, but to do the work, I don't do it in centimeters. It's too energy intensive to have to think centimeters and millimeters, as opposed to inches, quarter inch, half inch, 3/4. I know all my imperial fractions.
Yeah. You have to do either or because you're right. Yeah.
I was in the bathroom. Yeah,
We don't want to know this.
This morning, I was in the bathroom taking a dump, and I'm sitting there. Okay, I got less than a quarter tank, but it's more than a half of the quarter. So what is that? And I'm going, well, hold on now. 2/8 is a quarter. Oh yeah, it's 3/8. Okay, regardless, this is stupid. When I'm at a quarter tank and I gotta go anywhere, it's stupid. I gotta go to the gas station. I'm not going anywhere with a quarter tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have long distances between
Oh my
places?
God! Now he's streaming and driving at the same time.
Do you have long distances when you drive, Nelson?
Well, like
Do you have
today,
to go here?
well, all the way across town. Sherbrooke's not bad. When you get around to coming here to visit, you'll see that Sherbrooke's about 20 kilometers wide.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like to go all the way out to the shop this morning, I left at 6:30 and I got back at 7:20. That was with the time it took me to wait for the other guys back up to unload my stuff and then come back. With morning traffic, so it took me like 40 minutes to 45 minutes to do the whole thing. So going to and from probably half an hour. You know, if it was just a round trip. So it's not too bad. There's not that bad. So Saturday we're gonna go fix a pool in Compton, which there is about 20 minutes to get out there. depending where they are in Compton, because they could be close to us, whereas they could be on the other side near Quadacook. Well, I can add on another 10 minutes. And it's all farmland. It's all countryside. It's like there's nothing to see. It's just field after field after field. It's like, can we get there yet? It's boring.
And then, as a matter of fact, the WWE was in Montreal the other night.
That's why I wasn't there in Montreal.
I just thought of it. Yeah, they were in Montreal the other night.
And you came over to watch it?
And he didn't come say hi?
Yeah, they broadcasted from there. They made it easy for me.
In French?
No. But some of the wrestlers, the Canadian wrestlers, when they came out, they spoke to the audience in French a little bit.
Yeah. Salut Montreal, how do you do?
No, because you have two of them that are Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But not all Canadians speak French.
Yeah, but they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's just politeness. That's all that is. No, it's true. I find it hypocrite. If your native tongue is English, talk English. If it's German, talk German.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I mean, it's cool to be bilingual.
No problem. From now on, I'm just going to go all around, order stuff at restaurants. Hi, I want a steak. And I'll have to pray to make sure they don't spit on the food before it gets me. My native tongue is English.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work, Dad.
Oh yes, it will.
My tongue is English, but I do speak French. I do speak Danish. I know a little bit of German. I even know a tiny bit of Japanese.
Everybody knows a little bit of Japanese. All you need to do is watch a little bit of anime.
Yeah, but do you know how to form any sentences?
No. Not at all. Actually, the one language I do want to learn, and I think it would help the group out a lot. I do want to learn Mandarin. We have a lot of people from China and those countries where they speak Mandarin. I would like to be able to do the export with those people. That would be cool, you know. Yeah, that's a whole. I need someone who can sit down and I can practice it with.
You'd have a few billion new customers.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
In the community.
Yeah. And you'd be like, John Brewer. Respect to anybody who just heard me say something really foul. I have no idea what I just said.
Ni hao. I can say hello in Chinese. Ni hao.
Yeah, well, Chinese or Mandarin?
I think that's just.
Because Chinese, it's funny because Chinese is not really spoken very much, other than in China, in a core China. Mandarin is spoken much more. It's a variation of Chinese.
Yeah, Mandarin and Cantonese.
Yeah.
There's types of Chinese.
That's it, you know. So, and if you're going to learn that language, you're better off learning Mandarin than learning traditional Chinese, and because you'll still be understood by the person you're talking to. Kind of like learning French from Quebec and then going to France. It's still going to be understood, hopefully, with the words that you say from here over there. As opposed to if you go learn French, and come to Quebec, you're screwed. You're screwed.
Oh, no, they're hard to understand because they don't have any intonation.
They talk fast and they got
like a soft breeze going by. What'd you say?
They talk fast, soft, and they've got an accent. They're like voulez-vous parler en français avec moi? And they like slur it all like I was like, what? Oh yeah. No, but what was it? I had the guy was saying tonde ma cour, and I'm like, why are we going to mow your driveway? A cour and cour here is a parking lot, a parking space, not a lawn. The lawn is in gazon and pelouse. But when you say pelouse to somebody from Parisian France, they're going, quoi? Pardon? Parlez-vous français?
It's like over here. If you were to take a class there in Canada and learn how to speak German and came and visit me, you wouldn't understand folks around here.
Hey, I speak German, no problem. Que pasa?
What?
Because there's a dialect, there's a particular dialect in this area where I live.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's a tough thing. Like Google says German, but there's like what 5 versions of German, right?
I don't know how many there are, but at least, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they all sound sort of like Italian. There's 4 or 5 versions or more of Italian. They all sound similar.
Yeah.
How many?
7.
7? They all sound similar. They can all get along with each other. But if you go from
No.
they don't.
When people
Vina's dad, his dialect, just Vina's mother could understand part of it.
Oh, really? Is that bad?
Okay.
yeah
And her mom's dialect, all 3 of them can understand it.
yeah
So
When people-
But Angelo had no choice.
Angelo knew all a bunch of it.
Yeah, but he had no choice. It's learn it or you're not living here.
No, it's because he was older and he learned the basic and a few dialects as he grew up.
Oh, okay.
Because
When
men
people-
go to work.
Yeah. When people come to this area from up north, like to work, 'cause I've had my students talk about this, and they say it takes them a couple of months before they can fully understand, when people are really speaking the dialect here.
Forget it, bro. I'm only going down there for a week.
There
Over
Oh,
there.
we can make it 5-6 months, John. It's okay with us.
There you go. Coming to you from John Brewer's living room again. Week number
Yeah,
5.
but you're going to have to broadcast from John's place.
That's
And I'll
right,
sit in
that's right.
German.
That's right. I'll do it.
In German.
I'll do it.
French, Dutch, and all those
Yeah.
things.
Guten Tag.
That means a good hot dog, right?
Hey, no.
Yeah.
About
I think
Kuwait.
that's exactly what that means. Hey, here y'all go. I'm coming up on the lake right now here. One of the lakes.
You got good brakes?
Yeah, streaming and driving.
Yeah, well, I got one hand in the steering wheel too. Very good. Here you go. Here's my area.
Do you understand that, Nelson?
No, hold on. Okay, go ahead, Brianna. What are you saying?
Kuwait.
Did you drive by there
I can't-
before?
the audio's breaking up. I
That's
can't
the
make
other
out what
side
you're
of it, yeah.
Coupe.
Yeah, coupe is cut.
Lab.
Yeah, the grass. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But when people from the Parisian French, they don't understand the way we say because vous coupez pas l'herbe, c'est tondre le cours.
Yeah, but here they have 2 words for it. Some will say la pelouse, and the other one will say la terrasse. It's the same damn thing, but you don't always use the same word.
But now translate that to English. The pelouse is grass, and terrasse in English is a terrace. A terrace is not with grass. It's a
No, but
it's-
terrasse is a slang
Yeah,
that's been around for years.
no, but
The real word is la pelouse,
yeah.
and you don't cut the grass, you shave it.
Why c'est ça. But the terrace is more English because it's similar to a lanai, which is a paved area surrounded by grass and foliage. But you don't
Yeah, but
mow
in
a
English,
terrace.
it's a lawn, it's not a terrace.
But in English, a terrace, you don't mow a terrace. In French, tondre and terrasse, they're messed up. They got to come back to English, you know.
It depends who you're talking to.
Yeah, just don't talk to the Parisians. I got nothing against them, but
Yeah, like young people like John won't understand. They'll be pelouse.
they're pelouse. Qu'est-ce que c'est pelouse?
I'm scoring points today, John.
Yeah, that's it.
Huh?
I'm
Ah,
scoring
okay.
points today.
Loose with the fur.
Yeah, what?
The what? No,
Fur.
no. It refers to grass. Unless you're looking at old French. If you're looking up a dictionary and you're doing a conversion, yeah, it could have meant that way back in the day, but today it means grass.
L'herbe?
No, pelouse.
The pelouse is a lawn.
Yeah, it's a lawn. Yeah.
I thought it was a fur, okay?
Okay. I trust you.
Do you guys say yard also?
Yes.
But what's that would be Cajun French?
I didn't hear that. What?
Might be Cajun French.
Oh, yes, the Cajun French.
Those people down south.
The French of the lover.
Oh.
Yes.
Because if you go to New Orleans, it's not the same French as we have here.
It's not New Orleans, it's New Orleans.
Nouvelle-Orléans.
Nous sommes presque frères.
I'm not even anywhere near New Orleans. I'm in, let's see, where the Acadians moved to.
Yeah. Nelson, can you continue speaking French? It sounds real sexy. I'm picking up. Yeah, that better be a woman. Oh, oui.
Well, maybe it's a new member from Quebec, Nelson.
Okay, yeah. Public enclosure. Okay.
But no, it's funny to know that there's an area in the United States that speaks French. That is unique. I mean, there's not many states that speak French.
This is true.
Well, yeah, and you get two versions of French. You get Cajun French and Creole French.
Yeah.
Oh, Creole, that's a different one.
Yeah, and okay, well there you go. Like the Italian languages of the differences. I would have troubles understanding somebody from Creole, with Creole French. I would catch on fast, but
yeah, but Nelson, the Creole is based on Latin.
Yeah, I know, but we would catch on fast. Being that we talk here in Quebec, we would catch it fast, but it is hard. You're like during a 20-minute conversation, you're learning new words every second. You know, it's like, oh, okay, that's what it means. Oh, that's what that means. Okay, and you're making these associations. You know.
German.
But our brains are incredible. Learning, talking to somebody who has an accent, talking to someone who has a different language. We can catch on. Like I'm sure I can go to Germany and pick up a lot of words. Our brains work extremely fast at learning.
That's the word I'm thinking. Not pelage. Pelage.
What?
Pelage, not pelouse.
Payage or pavage?
Pelage. Pelage.
Oh, pelage. That's fur.
Yeah, that's fur. Yeah.
Oh, pelage.
In English, a pelt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
right.
one, John.
Yeah.
Good one, John.
Yeah. I had to use a microscope today to do some soldering on a motherboard, a circuit board, and at first when I went in with the tweezers, now the tweezers show up probably, they probably the end of the tweezer looks like this on the camera, okay, like when you're looking through the scope. That's how big the end of the tweezer is. That's how zoomed up this is. I have to hold it, and as I'm shaking, it's just like a blur, like you know. So I learned. The guy has a wrist mount to support your wrist, so your arm isn't like shaking up in the air. And at one point it was neat because by trying to hold the tweezers and I didn't move, you could see my heartbeat in the scope of the magnifying glass.
Really?
My own heartbeat was moving the tweezers. That's how magnified this is. Now, the problem I had was, where am I relative to the board? You see?
Yeah.
And it only took about a minute or two, and then I was able to bring the soldering gun in and do the actual soldering. You see?
Okay.
But
needless to say, the motherboard don't work no more.
No, it works fine. No. It works absolutely fine. But what was really strange was taking my eyes away from the microscope and then standing up right away. My brain had to readapt to the real world dimensions. It only took like 30 seconds, a minute for my brain to compensate and go, okay, we're working on this scale, versus the real world scale. Our brains are incredible. Think about it.
Yeah.
No, the guy has a robot, a drone, and the battery pack has a little tiny circuit board, but with the joint was one of the connections was cracked. I just want to put a little dab of solder on, and but he's never done that, so I went with him, and they're done. It wasn't a big repair or anything. It's just you go to put your tweezers under, you're sitting there, just naturally. I mean, hold your hand steady, and you're moving millimeters, but still a millimeter under that microscope is like moving like this. It'd be the same thing if we did this. It's incredible. It had to have been 400 times zoom or something like that. You could have put a dab of solder. You heat up the solder. You put a little dab on, and your brain's going, "That's not right. Why is it so big?" Meanwhile, you pull yourself away, and literally it's smaller than a tip of a pin. It's that tiny.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is. I want to get myself a microscope. I thought to myself, wow, that's got to cost thousands of dollars. No, the guy got it from China for $300. Everything, the binocular scope, the microscope assembly, and the 1080p camera that mounts so that you can put it onto a screen.
And and a technician that comes along with it to do the soldering.
Oh,
for
no,
you.
no, no, no. She costs a lot more.
$5 all technicians.
It's $5 whole buffet. No, but $300. Okay, it's about $150 shipping probably because of the heaviness of it. It's got a heavy metal base, to hold everything. But yeah, it was pretty cool to use today.
Yeah, I managed to get all the way from let's see, lawn to I was clicking different words and that Google Translate had as options for things, and I managed to get from lawn to Damascus.
Oh, you mean you're just clicking through?
Yeah, I was clicking all the, it's got all
My buddy and I used to do that with traffic exchanges. Bannerswap.com used to be a place where you put banners up on your website. Oh, hey, wait a minute. That sounds like Banvertise.com. But here's the thing. We would click on one banner on one site and get sent over to the other site. Now, the other site should have banners on their site too, right? We'd find a banner, click it, go to the next site. We count how many sites can we hop through before we get to no more banners being shown. It was pretty cool. Just from one to the next to the next to the next. It's like, that was true traffic surfing.
That's interesting.
Oh, have you ever done the what? I think it's wiki whacking or something like that.
No.
Where you're trying to find the shortest route from one word to another.
The shortest route? Just search.
Oh, you have to click.
Oh, okay. I've never done it. I've heard of it, but I've never done it. There's having time to do stuff and having too much time in my hands.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. But then I guess clicking banners to see how far you can go through until you find no more banners on a person's site. I guess that counts as what? Having stuff to do or having too much time in my hands? Which is it?
It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. Hey, Fabi should have been in today, but apparently she's going to be busy traveling or something. So she's not in this week, but she'll be in next week. She said she was going to be here. She will be here in spirit.
No.
So,
and how? So how did your first pool installation go?
No, repair. I've got the video footage. Yeah, because I don't do installations anymore. I did 6 years of that. I'm burnt on that.
Just repair. Okay.
Yeah, I got footage. I gotta spice it together and upload it. But I do have the footage, including me almost drowning.
Really?
I got way down on my belly and took the camera, the water level's here, and I put the camera here, so they're like, oh, I'm drowning, and I back up, and like, oh, and then you see it's the hose filling the pool, and it's only a puddle this big, I was like, save me!
No.
So was your dad with you then?
Yeah.
Was that his first time doing
repair? No. He's helped out with other stuff. He's got an idea of what we do, but he's never been there from
start to finish.
Yeah, that's it. But they're not hard to do. I mean, it's just the idea is that we want to get in and get out like within 2 hours. So we can get 2 jobs done within 4 or 5 hours. We get it all done, and then we can go on to other stuff in the afternoon. That's the idea. Like we got one up here in Compton this Saturday, and then the next one's right beside the store. So it's like. We're going to go over there. We got to raise the second one. We're going to have to raise the deck and finish draining the pool. Cause I don't drain it all the way down to nothing. I leave a little bit of water in the bottom to keep the structure in place. So while it's draining, I'm going to raise the pool. Then we're going to take off all the tops. It's a pretty routine thing. It's not that hard to do. We're just technique involved. If somebody wants to change out their liner, get somebody who knows what they're doing, because you will mess it up if you do it wrong, and it costs a lot of money when you mess it up. And I'm not saying it just to make cash, but it takes knowledge, especially when you don't want pleats or folds in the bottom of the pool.
Okay.
Because when we're done, you want that to be nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. If you have little folds in the liner, and the pleats in the fold, over time, every time you go over it or you vacuum over it, the material basically goes back and forth, and it'll start to tear. Then you got a hole in the bottom of your pool, so you want that nice and smooth as possible.
Okay.
So
cool.
there's talent, but the one that I took footage of, you guys are going to see. We had to level it. On one side, it was up in the air 3 inches. On the opposite side, it was down on the ground 2 inches.
Really?
So from one
Okay.
side to the other was a 5-inch deviation between the two, the differential.
Wow.
So we had to,
How did it get that way?
yeah. So we raised one 2.5 inches. We lowered the other side 2.5 inches so to make it level, and then
How did
say again.
how did it get uneven like that?
Oh, the weather, it'll freeze under a deck and the water will get underneath the wall and freeze and the ice, expands. So the wall will lift and lift and lift. And this is over years. It's not usually like,
Okay.
if it happens one winter, the wall rips and destroys. It can't handle it. But this was, raise, lower, raise, lower, raise, lower, raise, lower. The other side of his property is wet. So it sunk. But it's over each year. Maybe it was an eighth to a quarter of an inch each year to get to 3 inches up and 2 inches down. So.
But we've had worse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Really? Really?
But we started, John. It looked like this. Now it looks like this.
Yeah.
So just tilt the camera on. It's level.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We had a guy once. Dang dogs. There was a. Would you
Blame it on the dog.
over? There.
Mhm.
There was a person once that thought he was going to be magnificent. Made the area for the bowl and then poured an 8-inch slab of concrete in the form of the bowl where the liner is going to go. Okay, and the wall was going to. He had it all planned out. He had a nice bowl, and up where the wall is going to be, there was going to be a level track all the way around. So that the wall sits on it and the liner goes and makes his bowl shape. Perfect design. The next spring, that concrete slab shifted.
Ooh.
And
Water gets underneath and freezes. Nature will lift it. It's molecule by molecule, not like us with hydraulics. We can't do that, I don't think, not right now.
Yeah.
But Mother Nature gets in there molecule by molecule, expands every molecule one by one, and sure enough, that concrete will move. And when he was done, it was cracked, half was lifted, and the other half stayed. It was screwed.
Yeah, but another problem we have is most people don't believe in putting drains around their pools
Oh, you have to.
to drain the water away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's where we find a lot of problems. Those that we've installed drains, we haven't gone back to
That's
that.
right.
Interesting.
We should.
Okay.
We
But it's called a French drain.
Yeah.
Water seeps through the crushed stone, whatever, into the drain and runs away. So it doesn't sit there.
Yeah.
it finds a path away from the structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Makes sense.
the snow melting beside the pool. The water will melt down towards the wall. Has nowhere to go. It sits under the
Right.
wall and lifts and lifts and lifts. And we're talking millimeters, but it's enough. It's rip the liner or cause holes. But if the drain's there, the water goes down and makes its way to the drain, and then it's got a path away without touching that wall. And that's a critical thing to have. And my dad and I, after we finished doing all that, we said we should charge $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 to do those drains, because again, we install it once and never go back.
Yeah.
And the pool stay level.
It's like the guy that we did the mudslide for.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm surprised the pool did just flatten right out. The hill came down. We had over 3 feet of mud up against the pool.
Yeah.
And he did not have a drain.
No. Well, no, but we were supposed to go install it, but it rained between when we did the pool. We installed the pool, and we had a huge whitewash rainfall. The slope that was beside the pool, it all drained down beside the pool. And then we came along. We had to dig out, a foot and a half of mud to get to where the drain's supposed to go.
Ooh.
A foot and a half. That was more than halfway up the pool.
Yeah, about a foot and a half. It's only 4 foot high.
It took me 2 days just to get the mud out,
Yeah.
to get in, to start digging for a drain.
Yeah.
2 days.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you had nowhere. You would go in with the shovel ahead of you, back up,
Yeah.
back out, back out, back out. You couldn't put the wheelbarrow there. So you had to back up to where you had the entrance,
Okay.
come back with, take one more shovel.
Two winters back. Do you remember the thaw and the freeze? The thaw, the freeze. That 2 winters back.
Yeah.
That pool let go and wound up down below the property.
Down on the other side?
Down below. Remember where her septic field was?
Yeah, we dug it.
Well, but down below you did. That's right. Yeah, but the whole pool wound up down there.
Yeah, we dug a drain. I don't know how many feet there, a couple of 100 feet.
Yeah,
To join another drain. Oh, what a job! But
Yeah.
this is all mud.
Yeah.
There's no dry dirt anywhere. It's
Yeah.
all mud.
Yeah, but 2 years ago, that pool let go completely and washed all the way down. There was footage of it in the short.
But that's okay. That's the one that didn't want to pay the bill there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's okay. See what
Really?
what goes around comes around, right?
Yeah. Why didn't they want to pay the bill?
They're idiots.
We didn't leave enough mud, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that one had to go in front of an arbiter because it got stupid. We were putting it in a brick wall for her, and then we got the brick wall done. Oh, can you move it over? You got to be kidding me! This thing weighs
4
over a
inches.
ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to undo the wall and start all over again.
Yeah.
And
And didn't want to pay the extra time.
I'm gonna play with it.
Okay.
You know, they
Really?
want to pay the extra time. So, so it went to an arbiter, and and then finally it came around to say, okay, write me a check for a certain amount, period. You know, it's like, here, settle. And as far as I know, it went to the arbiter, and as far as I know, I didn't get a check for the amount for the balance. As far
but
as I
the
know.
arbitrator forgot to mention to give you a check.
No, because she was supposed to be allowed a certain amount of time, but I kind of like slipped my mind, and to this day I think it's an unpaid arbitration.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's
Okay.
less than 10 years, I could still go back and request it. You know.
But for all the man labor you had in there, and the wall was no joy either. We were in the mud as well.
Yeah.
You got to try and fix a base for that wall.
Yeah.
And then at first it's a round wall too. It's not straight here. It's
Oh.
round. Bring it up against the post under the deck, even there. He comes out, no, we wanted to extend a foot where we might keep going up. She comes out, no, I told you to put it against the post. Make up my mind, because you start calculating at the other end where they had this, is that an air conditioner or whatever they had out there now?
Yeah.
So legally, I can't go within 15 inches of that thing. So, oh boy, don't tell me to move that in.
Brianna has discovered the function "say" with our bot in the chat room and the Twitch chat,
Whoa.
and she's discovered the "say" command. So say hello. Like I just wrote, say Nelson is really smart. Nelson is really smart.
I see it now.
Yeah, there's a lot of Easter egg functions that are in there right now, and I've been playing with. It's more like say is just to make sure that I can play with the program and have it spit back something. Because I could go here. I could type in ping. What do you want me to ping?
Type in John is smart. You'd probably smoke your robot. John is talking to your bot.
We're all talking to the bot on live show. Oh. I keep it clean, guys, because this is all public record, eh?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another toy while you watch WWE.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
But who's going to win?
Oh boy.
Who's gonna win?
Does your Undertaker, does he win or does he
No.
not do too well?
Oh no.
He
Takes him away.
yeah, he's only done a couple of matches since he's been back, but he won them both. Yeah.
That's fixed.
Of course.
What I like to watch is the WWE but robot version. I like watching Robot Wars. Those are neat. People have to create their robots, put them in a ring, and it's a battle to the of the fittest. You know.
Okay.
That I like to watch.
Okay.
You can't. I don't know. You can't fix it when you got a steel circular saw blade going after another robot. You know, and the other one's got a lousy little hammer going. Oh my God! I'm paired against you. And the hammer one wins, and you think there's no way he was going to win, and sure enough, he wins. Like, wow, you know.
He had a cheap saw blade.
Yeah. Well, this guy had a saw blade with like eight teeth on it, so as it spun around, it ripped anything that was in its way. Dude had a little hammer going along like this, and he managed to get the hammer to come down on the control unit where the disc goes around, and he spiked right through the motherboard.
Right.
It was like, you're dead. That I like. I would love to make a robot like that and enter into a competition. Team Mardox.
But they don't have those anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, I didn't see it.
You build these wonderful technical things just to destroy them.
Yeah. They got it. They were on TV for a while, so to get people interested in it. But now it's more private competition, and there's whole competitions of this going on right now, and to see who's world's best robot creator. Some of the prizes are to be eligible. You win the right to be eligible to be part of a NASA team to develop NASA robots to go into space.
Cool.
Because if you can make a robot that can go through 50 battles and you're the top winning robot, then yeah, you should have the right to go talk to NASA. Because NASA only deals with university and educational institutions for development.
Mhm.
So if this gives a chance for young people like myself to get in there and get my name known.
So the little robot with a hammer would be sent to Mars to bop the Martians on the head.
No, funny enough, the technology behind that hammer, the solenoid, was what they're going to use now when they're going to last. I think it's Cassini. It's one of the probes that's out there right now. Is headed for an asteroid, and it's the device that's going to come down, land on the asteroid, and it's going to detect the hardness as the device lands. The robot's still in space. It's tethered. It comes down on the asteroid and senses the solidity of the asteroid. If it's hard, it's going to punch a bolt into the asteroid, and then it's going to wheel in the cable to bring the probe down. Yeah.
Cool.
And then it's going to ride the asteroid for however long it is. It's going to do all sorts of tests with never moving. It's going to be tethered.
Oh, Brianna put a link in, I think, to robots, Nelson.
Yeah.
He book them?
Yeah.
I don't see anything.
It's still coming up.
It's in the chat.
I believe you.
It's in the thing chat, Zoom chat.
Oh, in the Zoom chat. Oh, I thought you were talking about the real chat.
Zoom.
What is this about?
Robots.
You?
Yeah. It's not coming up. Okay, there it is.
Still hasn't come up in mine yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those are the little tiny ones, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, they're not very big because
Hebo killing. The crappy robot competition.
Oh, okay. Because
they're small.
Yeah, because
Is a
the one I'm talking about, Brianna, the robots are 500 pounds, 400 pounds. They're huge. And then there's actually a competition, believe it or not. There is a competition of full-size, humanoid-looking robots, hydraulics, the whole thing. One guy is in the process of making the Hulkbuster, made out of hydraulics and steel, and the thing's going to weigh 6 tons, with arms, and the legs, and at first it was to make the Hulkbuster robot. You sit in it and you control it. The Hulkbuster. But then it started off a whole chain of these battle robots that are going to be in the ton range, and they're going to battle it out, and the first one wins. But instead of having a human inside, it's all the electronics with the AI, all the computer motherboard. And they're going to, it has to be able to be autonomous. It has to be able to get up on its own. If it falls down, you got no controls. You put it in the cage and say, good luck. We're behind you.
Okay.
They're sumo robots.
Oh no, this is big. This is just starting, because the guy just made the Hulkbuster, and another group said, "Hey, we can do one better," and they're going to do a challenge. Now there's another group saying, "We're going to make one." But you're looking at about $40,000 of materials to make one of these robots.
Wow.
With hydraulics, and motors and a whole nine yards. The only thing tethering them is the power supply, going back to 224 or 240 volt plug-in for all the motors.
Okay.
Because it's hydraulic motors that pump the hydraulics everywhere. You don't need power for that. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that you're allowed to tether to if you need to tether.
They're going to be on 220.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're from Germany.
Oh. But hey, do you dogs want to live?
I should have knew that was coming.
Well, we have 110 here, John. We're just happy.
No, we don't. We have 120.
We only have 120. We're just half as smart as you guys are.
This is an electrician that works in this field. He doesn't know that we have 120.
Well, if you want to be specific, it's 127.
Ooh, wow.
Actually, I can show you guys the logs on
Uh-oh.
that one. This device down here under my desk. I don't see if you guys can see. Hold on a second here. Let's see if you can
Where's
see
the
this.
desk?
Hold on now. This device right here is a battery backup power supply, and he tells me how high the voltage is going, how low it goes. Okay. I actually see. It's not the spikes that I noticed that affect the computers. It's the drops in power. This device has
Really?
recorded power drops as low as 97
Mhm.
volts, where it
Wow.
should be 115.
Yeah.
And he has received spikes as high as 140.
Okay.
You know, so that's your computer being plugged into the wall, a regular computer. If you don't have a battery backup power supply to smooth out the voltage, you've got these low points and these high points. The high points will burn out your hard drive, blow out your processor, your memory. Those are rare.
Yeah.
I got to admit, those are rare. But you do get the 97, 94 volt drops. That's where your processor goes, oh, I got power. And then that's where your system crashes.
No, but today's switching supplies, you won't see that.
Oh, no, they still do. They
No, no, they're regulated. You can't have more than a certain amount going out.
Tina's computer crashes about once a week. Mine never crashes with this on here. Never. And
Well, there's something wrong with Tina's computer.
no, the voltage is. The power goes too low, comes back, and the system crashes. It's like
Now they have a switching supply. It's fully regulated.
No. I contacted the company about that, and they said it's your voltage. They said to put a UPS on, and once I do get a battery for a UPS,
Yeah, he works for a company that sells UPS backups.
no. He works for the company manufacturer, but they don't make UPSs. But you put a battery on your computer, yeah, you'll solve a lot of your problems. Laptops you don't need to. Laptops do like they're saying they because your power is coming from the battery, and the wall power is charging your battery. There's that middle layer. Whereas a computer, the power is coming in from the wall and it goes straight into a power supply, straight to what you're using. If the power drops too low, even if it says 12 volts, it still drops and comes back up. That little drop is
No, your 12 volt will not go up or down. Neither will your 5 volt.
it does.
They're regulated and switch at 70 megahertz. That's it. It's a frequency, not a voltage.
Right. And I can
So you cannot have ups and downs.
and I can show you it does. We put a multimeter on it and saw it. It drops. They do drop. They'll drop. The processor pins drop to 4.3. It's supposed to be 5.
Then a crappy power supplies.
What? It's a standard power supply. I better not be crappy. I paid a crap load for this.
You got sucked in.
Speaking.
Meanwhile, back in Germany,
Dad, your computer has the same crappy stuff that I have.
yeah, but I got crappy power here. Anyway.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What were you going to say, John?
Yeah, speaking of that kind of thing, what do y'all say about this laptops with non-removable batteries? Is it okay to keep them plugged in all the time, or should you let the battery go down sometimes?
You can.
There's a video about the manufacturers of batteries with cell phones. The same thing with laptops. They say there's some people say don't go lower than 30, don't go above 80. Right? No, the battery manufacturers for Samsung says leave it charging all the time, keep it at 100 as much as possible.
Okay.
They do. The battery companies say do it, leave it charged. When you use it, it'll come down, but don't go past 30. Stay above 30.
Yeah, I read the other day, as far as the laptop, to not let it get lower than 20.
No, 30.
30 between 30 and 80 is optimal.
My laptop here is always plugged in unless I use it, and I noticed that
mine is also.
Yeah,
mine is.
But because I do that, I'm at the 7-year point with this laptop, and the battery still works.
Okay.
But when I used
I
go ahead.
I read about my smartphone. It said it's better if you keep it charged up a lot and don't let it get too low.
Yeah, leave it charged to 100 because you're leaving the ions between the layers of the anode and the cathode and the battery. You're leaving it fully charged. When it degrades, the materials cause microscopic bubbles between the anode and the cathode materials. Now these are packed tight. And the air bubbles, or let's call them air bubbles, and they're not air, but let's say the bubbles between the two don't conduct electrons from one side to the other. So if you bring it down to 3%, like some people do, then charge, the same thing with these little batteries are on my wall here. I got to take those off. But if you let them, rechargeable batteries, if you let them, leave it and worst thing for rechargeable batteries, worst thing ever, remote controls. When they get to 50%, you want to charge them up. But if you're leaving the remote control and you use them until the remote control doesn't work, you're down to 3%. You see? While it was at 3% for 6 months, it's formed bubbles in the material.
Ooh. Oh, so that's why you can't
Yeah.
reach.
So when you're going from 3% and recharging, no matter how long you leave them on there, they're only going to go to 50. You see?
You know,
that's what they call that memory.
You know what I don't like, right? When you break down and you read the instructions and don't do this and blah blah blah, they don't tell you why. Because I like to know the why. You know, because like what you just explained was cool. But I was like, oh, okay, that's why. Because if people don't know why and it doesn't make much sense to them, they kind of ignore it until they break their stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And but I think it's interesting to know why, even though, because like all that you explained was like really technical and stuff, but it was very logical and it made sense.
Right.
And then it's like, okay. Then you take it more seriously.
Right.
You know?
The problem.
You believe that, John?
The problem with bad.
You believe that? I got a bridge for sale.
There's if you go back 10 years at the turn of the millennium, there 10, 15 years ago, there were batteries that were putting out, but those were nickel.
The
what?
Nickel cadmium.
Yeah, rechargeables. Those ones you had to keep between 30 and 80%. Too much, and you would overheat the battery, cause damage, and too low, you'd have oxides in your battery. You know, that was a pain in the butt. But today, the lithium-ion batteries are much better. And they're coming out with another battery now that's expected to have 10 times the lifespan as the lithium-ion. It's cobalt ion.
Yeah.
And but the cobalt ion, if you pierce a battery that's lithium-ion, you're going to get, that fizz, smoky stuff, and maybe some flames. Okay? They're volatile. Cobalt ion, the problem is, if you pierce it, it goes bang.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was in the news today, by the way.
Yeah.
Really?
Cobalt ion. Well, yeah, because Africa, they're mining cobalt. What do you think for?
Right. Remember, I mentioned that the other day.
Yeah.
But we understood though. It's not cobalt the atomic type cobalt. It's the cobalt salt, if you want, is what they're looking for. We're still looking.
But I said that because John was mentioning something about cobalt.
Yeah.
And in the news today, South Africa cobalt, way up. Yeah, they're mining like crazy apparently.
Yeah.
Because cobalt ion batteries are going to come out. Lithium ion is going to phase out. And literally, the same battery, the same size as in my cell phone. This is going to be nasty because the same size batteries in my cell phone is going to be 10 times more juice for duration. But it's also going to be, and people don't get this, it's going to be 10 times heavier because cobalt is heavier than lithium.
Yeah, you can boost your car with it, even a Volkswagen.
Yeah, well, it's going to weigh a lot. But where does the limit go to thinness? I mean, I would rather have a good battery, a thick phone, and a battery that lasts a long time versus a thin phone I got to charge every 4 hours. You know?
Yeah, that would be silly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Well, I was seeing you're going to go. They have flexible phones now.
Oh yeah.
That was used last week, and they roll them up like you would roll up a cigarette, and then unfold them and dial. And where the hell's the battery?
Yeah. There's a pad that we saw way back in the movies. The guy grabs two handles and goes like this. I think it's Mission to Mars. He pulls it out like this, and you see this flexible, translucent screen. And he rolls it back up, and he pulls it back up. And goes, here's a diagram, and here's what we're doing. And he rolls it back up. That device now exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's really neat is that Corning made the glass for these devices. The glass that rolls.
Wow.
It rolls up. And it's you hit it with a hammer, it will dent, but it won't shatter.
Wow.
It's a polymer glass composite. Corning is the first one to come out with it, and that is bleeping amazing if you think about it. Yeah.
As I've seen those roll up thingies a couple of years ago, I think at a tech show or on television, at the show that they have every year, the tech show over here. Yeah.
And that's what we're coming to.
That's cool.
In Star Trek: The Voyage Home, they talk about transparent aluminum. Okay, being that in the future all glass is no longer exists, it's transparent aluminum, so it doesn't crack or shatter, right?
Ah,
Because a TV show talked about this, people got interested. Hey, what if we could make transparent
yeah,
aluminum?
yeah,
Corning,
yeah.
the company Corning, has actually is in a process of developing transparent aluminum. They now have what they call translucent aluminum, where it's semi-opaque right now. But they're in the
Okay.
process of getting it so all the molecules are lined up in such a way that light will pass through. If they can get to that point, we're going to have aluminum sheeting that you can see through.
Cool.
That is really cool. Yeah, and we're in that age. You know, we're saying
Yeah.
Star Trek 2300, 2400s. You know, we're in the age now
That's cool.
where this stuff is coming out.
Well, Ford also did something to their the passenger window for blind people. Yeah, it's in the news. I don't have all the details, but apparently blind people can read the scenery. But the way
Oh,
that they've
wow.
got it set up,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Whoa.
put their fingers on the
Yeah.
window and they can tell what scenery they're supposed to be looking at, and so on and so forth.
That's going to be
Yeah.
awesome.
It's in the news if you want to read it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go take a look at it. 'Cause those are the things that really interest me. I mean,
It's on CTV.
I was talking to somebody with a medical condition the other day, and I was telling her, I said, it's not the end of the world that you have MS. I mean, they're going to find a solution to curing MS. We're in this age where everything's advancing exponentially. 10 years ago, I wanted to get into robotics. It was so damn expensive. Just a motherboard. You need a full-size computers to do one task. Now those same motherboards are little tiny credit card sized motherboards that do the same
Yeah.
as my computer. And
Yeah.
because of that, robotic engineering is going through the roof. So is medical science now. That microscope I looked at, $300. 10 years ago, that would have been $30,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Well, on that subject, there's a student at Toronto University. You know the CDC laboratories where you send, have it analyzed and so on and so forth. He came up with one that's no bigger than a sheet of 8 by 11. It's a portable one and does the same work as they do in the laboratory.
Yeah.
But it's on site bank.
Yeah.
So technology is powerful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's evolving very fast. I actually want to do a video on deep learning or deep learning networks. People are getting afraid of the fact that computers are going to take over the world, and I do want to make a video on how it's not going to take over the world, not between now and 1,000 years, not what we have set up now. People are getting afraid of technology because they don't understand what it actually does. When we say deep learning, they don't get that.
By the time robots take over the world, we're not going to be here anymore. We're going to be on Mars.
But to take an image of this cup and for the program to say that's a cup, it would take me thousands and thousands and thousands of images to feed it to the program until it understood, oh, this is the outline of possibly a cup. You know, and they can do it. They can do it now.
If we
But
move to Mars, do you think we'll have Volkswagen?
no, no.
Or Autobahns?
Yes.
A highway straight to Earth.
We're gonna have we're gonna have autobahns, but the Germans are gonna be the first to get there. We already know that because forget the Russians. Americans are too arrogant. Germans are already working on it. They're gonna launch without anyone knowing about this. They're gonna go straight to Mars, but they're not gonna be dumb enough to bring Volkswagen. They're gonna bring Fords.
No, you would bring Fiat, right?
Oh no,
No?
I've heard too much about Fiat. So.
And you mentioned something before about that.
The smart car. I told my wife I would never get caught in it, and my worst fear would be that I would be in one, and I would get hit from behind by an 18-wheeler and get crushed into the other one. What did I see about 3 months ago? 18-wheeler
Really?
from behind couldn't stop and pushed, and that car was non-existent.
Well, you talk smart cars. A lady went over a cliff, and they have the barrier there. You know, it's what 2.5 feet high.
I heard that. And
It's
it
so
bounced
light.
over.
She hit it, and she bounced right over.
Yeah.
Not heavy enough to stay on the road, so she went down the cliff.
Wow.
I will never get caught dead in one of those smart cars. You can
Well-
keep your diesel engines and your super efficient.
No, but the first time I saw a smart car, I told my wife, geez, a 10-speed hits that on the side, it flips over.
You know,
I
apparently,
was-
impact testing, they're actually really better. They're much better than any other vehicle out there. But an 18-wheeler sandwich, the person saw the 18-wheeler and laid down across the seats. He knew what was going to happen, and the bumpers went over top. And he is lucky. It took a firefighter something like 4 hours to extract them. You know.
Well, they have extremely well made roll bars.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
that's
still, I don't know.
Yeah.
well, somebody at Daimler told me they're built very well.
Yeah,
They're, yeah.
There.
Yeah, but there's some engineers that refer to the 50s cars, that if you got hit, the motor was there to stop you.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah.
That little thing, you get a face-to-face. There's nothing stopping.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, not to mention the cars from the 1950s, 1960s, even going back to the 40s. You had two solid I-beams right down the center. You had a motor on one end, you had the wheels
Yep.
underneath, and you had cross pieces called bumpers, big steel bumpers that were, bumpers. And you hit something, that frame took the shock. Now,
Yeah.
my daughter's car, the previous person who drove it, backed up a little bit. I guess he hooked the front end from what Dad and I can see, and he corrected and drove off. There's $1,000 in damage just from touching something, you know?
Yeah, as he backed up, he took out the front end, and he drove forward again, took out the back end.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, it's damaged. And we're looking at this. We all had the hood open. We're trying to get the light reset back on because now I'm taking over the car for my dad to drive around for work and all that. And we're looking at the headlight and we're like, Dad, you can't force on that. And he goes, why not? Because that's plastic. The molding in front of the car that holds the headlights and everything on, it's all plastic.
It's plastic. There's no metal there.
There's no metal. It was black. I thought, okay, that's going to be metal, like in my truck. It's ding, 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 metal, right? It's black. It's resin.
But one thing about smart cars, you never need a tow truck. You just get up, pick it up, and go.
You're not going to need a tow.
But there's a car out that I saw here. It's smaller even than the smart car.
Really?
Yeah, it's around the bend over there. He parks it, and the hood of my car, and half of my front door. That's it. That's the car.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who makes it, but it's smaller than the smart.
Wow.
And that's too small.
Oh yeah.
That's
Ugh. It's like a baby carriage with roof.
Where I'm going to get the pool for our client there. The guy's also selling the car. It is a Austin Mini. And I looked at it and I thought to myself, that would be neat for Tina. And I thought, I don't know if she can get into it. I would have troubles getting into it. It's tiny. I got in. I'm like, I'm sitting there with my, I felt like my knees were up. It feels small.
Yeah, but you know what they did with the Austin Mini after a while?
What's that?
They didn't do well here in Canada. But remember in Brockville, the car racing?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, they used those. What do you call that when you bump into everybody and the last one standing?
Demolition.
Demolition derby?
Yeah,
That's what they use those little cars for.
Cool. Not bad.
Yeah. No, John doesn't have that over there because John is they're more evolved than us. They don't have demolition derbies. They just drive with the Autobahn at super high speed and crash into anything that's there.
No, they have people here in America steal our cars and boat them to Germany. Hey, I got a big car. I got a Kia. You can steal it, okay?
Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Big man coming through.
Even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll turn the lights on. Back up, back up. It's insured.
John has to go watch WWE.
Yeah.
So now you get rid of us, John.
Anyway, thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to the Mardox Daily Live Chat, which gets more interesting every week, or not. And this is why we need your comments, right? If you're watching us via YouTube, please remember to do 3 very important things: subscribe, like, and comment on the video channel. Comment, very important. And if you're watching us via Twitch, please remember to follow and subscribe.
Give us your money.
Subscribe costs a little bit of money.
Give us your money.
And what are the time zones, John?
And yes, we come to you Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, and 9 p.m. Berlin time
So
in Germany.
yeah, so tune in on all 3 shows. I'm gonna laugh about that. I hope the person who wrote that, I hope they're not watching because they're gonna be like, oh,
Well done, John. Well done, John.
Thank you. Thank you.
Say good.
You should be a TV announcer at a WWE or something.
Yeah. And the left side of the ring is I don't know any names. Say goodbye, people, so I can find the button.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Again, like every show, where's the button?